So Singapore just told us which jobs they think is dying, and I think we can learn a lot from it. I want to talk about a number that came out last week. Most people scrolled past it. And if you're 25 right now, watching this, thinking this is a video about old people losing jobs, stay, because this is about you. Because the thing that makes someone get cut at 45 is the decisions and choices that made when they were 25. They just didn't know that they were making it. I hire people and I have a team of 10. So every hire hurts me if I get it wrong. It hurts the culture, it hurts our finances. And over the last 2 years, the thing that I look for has quietly changed. I didn't announce it, and I don't think any bosses out there announced it either, but it changed. Let me show you the mechanism and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong. So let's start from first principle. Start from something that you already pretty much know. Why does anybody pay you? Well, they pay you not for your hours, not for your degree. A company will only pay you if you're able to make a problem go away when you're here. Now, there are only really 3 ways a person can make a problem go away. Number 1, you got hands and you're cheap. Somebody has to carry the thing, someone has to stack the thing to be physically there, and that's real work and that's not going anywhere. Number 2, you've done it 10,000 times. You know the system, you know which form goes where, which client blows up if you're late, what usually breaks on a Friday, you're fast and you don't make mistakes. Number 3, you decide. Something happens, no one knows the answer, and you call it and you live with that call. Now, most jobs in Malaysia and Singapore are in number 2. That's the whole middle ground of the working world. And number 2 is the one that's easiest to be copied. Think about a taxi uncle in Kuala Lumpur 15 years ago. That guy was pretty much gold. He knew every shortcut, every road that jams at 6 p.m, which flyover to avoid when it rains. It took him 15 years to build that mental map in his mind. And you paid him for his services and that map. Then ways came up. His knowledge didn't become wrong. It just became free. He didn't get worse at his job. It's just that his advantage got copied and handed to anybody else with the access to that app. A 19-year-old competitor Grab driver or a cab driver on his very first day at work. And that's exactly what's happening to number 2 across every desk job that you can think of, and nobody sent a memo. Singapore, in the second quarter of this year, 4,500 people retrenched. That's the highest quarterly number since the end of 2020, up from 3,800 the quarter before, mostly in tech and manufacturing. Now, the employment rate in Singapore, 2%. It's basically nothing. More companies said they plan to hire than last month. Viewers said that they plan to cut. So on the surface, everything seems fine. The economy is fine and the headlines, everything looks good. That's why nobody's really panicking, which is good. And that's exactly also why that we have to look closer into it. In July, Singapore's government tech agency cut 93 people. That's a ridiculously small number. Barely made the news. Then in Parliament on the 4th of August, a minister gave a breakdown. Of those 93, 42% were in their 40s. You think that that's the headline, older workers getting hit the hardest. But she said something else, and this is the part that I keep thinking about. She said the 40 to 49 group was not overrepresented. Same 42% as the earlier round. And that actually means that the people in their 40s cut in almost exactly the same proportion as everybody else in that building. It sounds like fairness, but it's one of the worst news in the whole story here. Because the old deal, the one that your parent was working under, it was simple. You put in the years, you become harder to remove as you gain experience. The years were your armor. It's your moat, keeping your job. 20 years in, you're no longer the first one they look at when they need help. If you get cut at exactly the same time as the newcomer who just joined 1 year ago, your 20 years of experience basically didn't add any value to your moat. And there's one more detail. The people they let go had been there for 5.4 years on average. The people they kept and retained, 6 years. Basically the same. So tenure didn't decide it, something else did. So the thing that most people got backwards is this. Everyone's saying everywhere, right, that AI is taking away entry-level jobs. In America, there's real data on that. Employment for 22 to 25-year-olds in the most AI-exposed jobs has dropped. But look at Singapore now. Of the recent graduates from their public universities, around 9 in 10 found work within a year. That's in line with previous years. Around 3,600 out of 18,000 were still looking as of jobs. The young ones are fine. It's the middle one that is cracking right now. And in Malaysia, we have the opposite disease. Our graduates do find jobs, but what they don't find is jobs that uses their degree. The Human Resources Minister said it in Parliament in July. 1.6 million graduates working below their qualification, but 1 in 3. So in Singapore, the middle is getting squeezed. And in Malaysia, the bottom never lifted now. 2 different problems, but the same root, the same source. Nobody in either country is being paid for what they actually know anymore. That's the problem. They're being paid for what they can decide. Now, if you want to know what the people in charge, the government, actually believes in, ignore the speeches. Don't listen to what they say. Watch where the money goes. Singapore just put serious money behind retraining people over 40, up to 90% off course fees, a $4,000 top-up. And while you retrain up to 3,000 Sing dollars a month in your hand. 3,000 a month to go back and learn something. No government pays for a problem that's already solved. You only pay for a problem that you can see coming. So they looked at the entire workforce, saw which floor was about to give way, and started building a net under it before people fell. Whether it works or not, we will find out, but they're building it. Ask yourself the uncomfortable version of that question. Who's building that net for you? If you're in Malaysia, be honest about the answer. There's no check coming in with your name on it and no $3,000 a month where you figure things out. This is not me complaining, and I'm not asking anyone to feel sorry first. I'm simply doing this because I want you to see the map that you're standing on today, which also means that you need to build that net for yourself to upskill yourself. Singapore's way of doing it is by funding people to upskill themselves. In Malaysia, you gotta find your own ways, with or without the $3,000 a month, and it's very doable. And that's the whole thing that I want to say in this video. There's the floor in every career where you're too expensive to be a cheap pair of hands and too easy to copy to be rare. I call it the middle trap. Worst part is that you don't feel it while you're in it. You feel comfortable, and comfortable is what it feels like from the inside. So here's what you gotta do now. Tonight itself, just write down what you did at work. Maybe write down the last 10 things that you did at work. Next to each one, write a yes or a no. So answer this question. Could a smart stranger with the right tools do what I'm doing in one afternoon? Every yes is a thing that you're currently being paid for that can be easily copied by a newcomer coming in. So then find one thing on that list where you actually had to decide something. Then go and do more of that. Go and do more of those things that cannot be replaced easily. Because I guarantee you that that's the job in the coming year. That's the whole job now.